right, Mandy wants our help here because she's got some weird things going on in her house. And she's wondering if these weird things were going on in her house before she bought the home. And we're talking about a haunted house. Hey, Mandy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet. What can we do for you?
Yeah, so I think that my house is haunted, but my husband doesn't believe me. And so I just was hoping that, you could contact the previous owners and ask them if they've ever experienced anything out of the norm, I guess you could say, because they didn't disclose it when we bought the house. I was hoping to do it discreetly this way.
Okay, all BS aside, we've already contacted them. Tommy's already contacted them, so we'll have some answers for you this morning. But tell us about some of the stuff that's going on in the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything that you would see in like a horror film. It's nothing too scary. It's just like doors will creak when no one has gone through them. The doors will open and shut when no one is around. My dog just will like stare at nothing that's there, but it looks like the dog is staring at something. And when I'm in a room, I just feel like someone is there, but no one is. So things like that.
So anybody that has ever felt like, I don't even know what you want to call it, a spirit in a room. We did this years and years ago. Right down the street here, there was a hotel that was notoriously haunted. So everybody on the show decided to spend the night there for Halloween, right?
My first year here.
That was your first year here?
Oh, that's a nice welcome gift.
Did you make it through the whole night?
Hell no.
Nobody did. And the room that I was staying in, it was a really strange experience because I couldn't see anything, but you know how like when you're, I don't know, you could be at a restaurant or whatever and you don't see somebody behind you, but you can feel their energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's exactly how this room was. So there was nothing that I could see in the room, but I could absolutely feel like something, people, spirits, whatever around me.
Ooh. It was Beverly Hills Inn.
Yep.
And I think, didn't it used to be like a former nunnery or something like that?
I'm not sure. My friend Mitt used to own it. And I'm not sure if it's still there anymore, but it was absolutely haunted. And all of us that stayed there didn't make it through the night.
None of us.
Did y'all have significant others with y'all or y'all did it alone?
No, we had to do it alone.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Man, and I medicated myself to go to sleep and nothing would work, man. Nothing would work.
No, sir.
So you got doors opening and closing. You got a dog that's just staring at things that you can't even see there. What else?
Creaking, random creaking of the floors and doors.
Well, is it an older house? Because houses settle.
It is an older house. It's over 100 years old, Victorian. So it's really beautiful.
That's definitely haunted.
Yeah.
If there was like one thing that you feel like stands out more than the others that made you feel like, okay, that right there is enough, what would it be?
For me, it's the same thing, like being in a room I think I'm alone in, but feeling like a presence there.
Yeah,
that's what creeps me out the most.
It's a weird feeling. You know when you feel it. You'd have to feel it. And I think that the law, depending on what state you're in, the law is that they don't have to volunteer that information, but if they are asked, then I think they have to tell you.
Oh.
Do they?
I think so, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to put that up in the ad anyway. All right, so give us a couple of minutes here, Mandy. And when we come back, Tommy has already reached out to the former owners, and he's got some answers for you, okay?
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Yes, Kristen.
All right, so you want some more details about the Beverly Hills Inn where we stayed?
Sure.
Is it still open?
So, no, it's an apartment complex now.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Mo lives there. Based on some of the stuff you were telling, it's an apartment complex.
It's an apartment complex now. And it says the Beverly Hills Inn is crawling with infuriated widowed spirits unable to meet their husbands in the afterlife.
What?
Damn. Wow. That's right. I do remember something about that. Wait.
The host of Popular popular Atlanta radio show, The Bert Show, even attempted to stay an entire night at the inn, but failed to due to the unwanted presence each of them experienced.
No way.
Bert even reported feeling someone staring at him as he tried to sleep.
Shut up! I feel like we're in like a haunted movie right now. Does it say that in the article?
No, but thanks to Georgia State Signal for the shout out. Who knew?
It's a real place, man.
That's crazy.
Again, if you're renting there, I think they should be able to tell you, like, just want to let you know we've had some activity in this house. It used to be a hotel, and now it's an apartment complex, and you got some freaky things going on in here.
It should be $30 a month for rent to live in that place.
All right, Mandy, we'll give you the results here in just a couple of minutes, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I think it's safe to say when you're about to purchase a home that the current homeowner that's trying to sell this house is not going to say to you, hey, just want to let you know the house is haunted before you buy it. They're going to keep that one to themselves, right? And I think legally, they don't have to volunteer anything unless you ask.
Do they have to disclose that somebody died in the house?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I think only if you ask.
So if you are looking at homes, you can have a list and be like, every single home you walk into, be like, is this home haunted? Did anybody die in this house? So if you ask, then you have to get, because I grew up in a house that somebody died in. I didn't realize it till later.
I wouldn't even know, and I want to know.
Did you feel anything ever?
No, never
Looking
did.
back, no?
I mean, we had like, and I think it was like a mass print, so I don't know how many people had this hanging up in their home, but it was like this little boy blue in a blue suit or whatever, and that picture was hanging in the room where the person had died in the house, and you felt like it was just one of those paintings where like no matter where you moved in the room, the eyes like were staring at you. I hated that damn thing. Like, hated it. But I don't think it had anything to do with the person that died in the house.
So Mandy here called us, and she said she's moved into this home, and there's some weird things happening in the house now, and she wanted us to reach out to the former owner and say, hey, was this stuff happening when you own the house also? Like the dog has been staring off into space. She's been hearing like creaking in the floors, doors opening and closing. What else am I missing?
Just being overall spooky.
Spooky. She can feel
spooky.
Presence, yeah.
She can't see it, but she can feel it. What are you showing us?
Little boy blue.
Okay.
That is
looks creepy for real. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yep.
That belongs next to a haunted doll collection.
Yeah. Probably had a couple of those too.
All right, Mandy. So you wanted answers. By the way, why didn't you just reach out to the owner of the house, and why did you have us do it?
I don't know. I just felt a little weird about reaching out, because my husband already thinks that my mind is just playing tricks. And I didn't know the previous owners, and I don't know. I just was afraid to contact them.
Okay. Either way. So Tommy, our show director, did just that. Tommy, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, I reached out, but I wasn't 100% truthful. I told them that we were doing a segment on haunted houses, and I didn't say exactly who this was for.
I like your tactic. And this is a 100-year-old house, so it's perfectly plausible to reach out to them.
They're going to find out now because their reply was, hey, Tommy, I love your show. So, hey.
Dang it.
They said, I'm actually a bit in shock to even get this email. It's so funny that you're asking about our old house. We were just talking about it and how much we miss it. It was no secret to our friends and family that we love that house despite some of the weird occurrences. So I'm not surprised that someone suggested you contact us. I'd love to know who, just out of curiosity. It was Mandy. Without boring you too much, let me take you on a bit of a journey through the house's history as well as our time there. The house, as you might already know, was built in the late 19th century, 1894 to be exact.
Oh, wow.
It has been home to several families over the years, each adding their own layers of history and charm to the property. The architecture still holds traces of the Victorian era, which lends to an old world charm that we always loved. During our time in the house, there were indeed some occurrences that might be described as peculiar. There were instances where we'd hear soft footsteps or what sounded like a muffled conversation from the next room when no one else was home. I can't count how many times we misplaced our keys or other small items, only to find them in the most unusual places. On occasion, we'd catch fleeting movements from the corner of our eyes, like someone just passing by. And on particularly cold nights, certain rooms would have an unexplainable chill, despite the heating being on. Our dog would sometimes growl at seemingly empty corners at something we couldn't see. And despite these odd occurrences, we never felt threatened or unsafe. We came to view these as characteristics of an old house. We'd often joke about our friendly ghost, giving it credit for any odd occurrence. It was a part of living in a house that held centuries of stories within its walls. But one thing we did notice was that whenever we respected the house, kept it clean, looked after, and made it feel loved and lived in, these occurrences seemed to lessen. We often attributed this to the spirit of the house being content with its care. So, I don't know if our old home is haunted or not, but we sure did love it.
So you've got some spirits in there that are a little OCD, and they do not like if it's just a little bit messy, Mandy. So they're pretty much telling you exactly what you already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
I'm definitely freaked out, but I'm reassured that nothing crazy happened, and I can tell my husband that I'm not the only one that experienced this. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, we can actually send you this email so you can show your husband because he's not going to want to believe it. But if you can live with knowing that there are spirits in that house, then it's fine if you keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd really appreciate that.
All right, Mandy. Thank you for hitting us up.
Thank you.
See you now.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.